The amazing story begins with showing Katie, a nurse who takes care of patients in a hospital. At this moment, Katie is performing CPR on a very critical patient whose condition is extremely poor and very close to death. Despite all the efforts made by Katie along with other doctors, they could not save the patient. The dead body of the patient is kept right in front of Katie, and she keeps thinking that she had a chance to save them but couldn't do it. Katie feels a deep sadness about this. Later, we see a scene where Katie has now become a personal assistant to wealthy people. She personally looks after patients who are quite wealthy. However, she still cannot forget the death of that patient in the hospital. Yet, she prays to God every day for her well-being. We learn that Katie places a lot of trust in God and these things. Katie then goes to Amanda's house. Amanda, a renowned choreographer and dancer, has cancer that has reached its final stage. Amanda needs a lady to take care of her and manage household tasks. In this regard, she calls Katie to her house. Katie is very conscious because, whenever she goes to wealthy people's homes, she is treated poorly. She hopes that Amanda will not behave the same way as others have in the past. When Katie arrives at Amanda's house, she gathers all the previous information about Amanda. Amanda's condition looks very poor, and all her hair has fallen out, indicating how advanced her cancer is. Initially, Amanda talks to Katie very nicely. However, we learn that Amanda does not believe in anything related to God. Thus, Katie and Amanda have completely opposite beliefs. Amanda soon gives Katie a list of tasks, which includes taking care of her, giving all the medications, and managing household chores. In return, Katie is paid quite well, so she willingly performs all these duties. Katie is given a small room to stay in her house, where she would spend her days. A contract was made in which Katie had to take care of Amanda for several days. After completing her work, Katie goes out to a supermarket to buy some items. On her way back, she notices that a man has entered the house, and he confronts Amanda. They get into a heated argument that reaches a very intense level. After the man leaves, Katie goes straight to Amanda. At that time, Amanda is quite drunk. However, they sit together and start talking. Katie, unable to ask who the man was, listens as Amanda begins questioning her background. Amanda asks why Katie enjoys this job and where she used to work before. Katie explains that she previously worked as a nurse in a hospital for 2 years, but then took up the role of a personal assistant. Although this job involves significant mental stress, Katie finds it fulfilling. She also shares that she hears voices of God, which is why she chose this path, to help people in some way. Katie believes that perhaps God has led her to this field to help Amanda, and maybe she can save Amanda's life. Hence, Katie starts trying to make Amanda more religious, hoping to instill hope that she can live her remaining days meaningfully. Katie begins sharing all things related to God with Amanda. Although Amanda does not believe in these things, she pretends to do so to make Katie happy. Over time, Katie begins to believe that Amanda has become religious. However, Amanda knows that she is only pretending. Her expressions show that she mocks Katie. Katie, unaware of Amanda's deception, is impressed by her ability to convert a non-believer into a believer. She believes that this will continue as she helps more people. But little does Katie know, she is about to encounter dark forces that could threaten her life. At Amanda's house, a woman named Carol starts coming regularly. Carol, who was involved in sexual scenes with Amanda, reveals that Amanda is a lesbian. When Katie learns about all this, she gets very angry because she had been trying hard to instill genuine faith in Amanda towards God so that she could dedicate her remaining moments to God. However, if Amanda continues to deviate from this path, she will face severe consequences after death. Katie absolutely doesn't want this to happen, so she stops Carol from engaging in such activities and drives her away. However, Amanda still doesn't know that Katie removed Carol. Carol leaves after hearing about the importance of religious faith. Without Carol, Amanda appears more settled and spends time partying with friends, enjoying alcohol. Katie, who lived a normal life, believes that if someone truly has faith in God, they shouldn't indulge in meaningless activities like this. She understands that Amanda is only pretending to follow God's teachings, and these actions go against her beliefs. Later, while walking down the street, Katie meets her old school friend, Joy. Joy, who also worked as a nurse with Katie at the hospital, finds out that Katie is still working as a nurse. Joy asks if Katie's current employer knows about her past. Katie admits that she hasn't revealed the details. Before leaving, Joy gives Katie her number and tells her to call if she ever needs assistance because Joy is now working in a large department related to the church. When Katie returns home, she sees Amanda partying with friends. Amanda has consumed a lot of alcohol, and in her intoxicated state, she even calls Carol back. This angers Katie deeply because she trusted Amanda and spent time with her, but Amanda humiliated her by engaging in such activities. Out of frustration, Katie slaps Amanda in anger. Because of raising her hand against her employer, Katie is fired from her job. Katie becomes very depressed because she holds deep emotions towards God and follows the path shown by him, yet she keeps facing failures. She no longer receives money or respect. Essentially, Katie begins to feel lost and wonders whether, despite her faith in God, she is truly satisfied with life. In an attempt to escape her sadness, Katie goes straight to a club where she joins a group that is heavily intoxicated. She becomes attracted to a man and grows intimate with him. However, in the middle of the intimacy, Katie suddenly remembers her past, a moment when she worked as a nurse in a hospital and, despite providing CPR, a patient died due to a mistake. Thinking about this, Katie becomes overwhelmed with guilt because it was the first time someone died on her watch. She blames herself entirely for what happened, feeling responsible for the loss. Amid the intimacy, these thoughts disturb her deeply, making the situation uncomfortable. Suddenly, Katie feels a strange presence and begins hearing unsettling voices. The voices seem to call out to her, and she starts losing self-control. At one point, Katie is seen levitating in her room, with sharp objects like nails in her shoes causing her immense pain. Katie later meets the new caretaker taking care of Amanda. In their conversation, Katie realizes that Amanda seems genuinely happy with this new person, which sparks a sense of jealousy in her. The feelings intensify when she experiences a supernatural phenomenon, hearing voices coming from the cross of God in Amanda's house. The voices are in a language that Katie doesn't understand, but she comprehends their presence. The voices kept repeating, "Your time is near, and from the beginning, you have wanted to connect with a highly powerful entity. Therefore, you must perform the ritual we are asking of you." Hearing these voices, Katie began to prepare herself accordingly. She appeared as if she were embracing a dangerous vision. Meanwhile, her friend Joy visits Katie's home. Joy is deeply concerned for Katie, who has recently lost her job. She comforts Katie, worried she might take a wrong step. Joy even apologizes for mocking Katie's previous job, but Katie simply replies that she had already forgiven her and not to dwell on it. They embrace each other, and Joy starts talking about a new job opportunity for Katie. However, Katie reveals that she has no interest in returning to her nursing job. She has already been given a dangerous task by God, and she is determined to fulfill it. As Joy continues talking, Katie moves to the window and gazes at the sky. In the sky, a circular formation begins to take shape, which Katie intensely watches. She feels as though God is appearing before her, waiting for her to complete the task. Katie then dons a Christian robe symbolizing God, and she heads directly to Amanda's house. Amanda is shown to be extremely weak, and her time of death is nearing. Katie approaches Amanda with a deep sense of emotion. For the first time, Amanda apologizes to Katie for her actions, acknowledging her past mistakes, which had driven Katie away. Katie seeks to help Amanda find redemption, urging her to stop her wrongdoings. Amanda, knowing her time is limited, repeatedly asks for forgiveness. Katie reassures her that if she accepts God, He will heal her, but Amanda had been drinking and had broken all the holy vows that a righteous person holds dear. Therefore, Katie takes a bucket filled with holy water and heads towards Amanda to pour it over her head in an attempt to purify her. However, Amanda immediately refuses, as she has always been a staunch atheist who does not believe in God. She wants to die without any rituals. Despite Katie's relentless efforts, Amanda finally admits that she was only pretending to believe in God to keep Katie happy. From the very beginning, Amanda never had faith in any divine power. Upon learning this truth, Katie is shocked and feels deeply betrayed. She had trusted Amanda and taught her about God, hoping that Amanda would follow him, but it turns out she had been acting all along. Suddenly, Amanda transforms into a dangerous demon before Katie's eyes. The demon appears menacing, and it immediately attacks Katie. Using immense force, it throws her violently across the room. Katie now understands why God chose her, to confront and defeat this dangerous demon. Under the influence of her faith, she grabs a scythe and attacks the demon. With a powerful strike, she slashes its throat, killing the demon instantly. However, moments later, Katie discovers Amanda's lifeless body on the bed, not the demon's. It becomes clear that Katie had mentally transformed Amanda's evil deeds into a demon-like entity and then eliminated it as part of her secret task. After committing the murder, Katie shows no remorse. She believes that by doing God's work, she has completed her purpose, and God will now welcome her into heaven, ensuring a successful life beyond. However, a shocking reality dawns on her. It is revealed that in the hospital, Katie failed to save a patient while providing CPR. In fact, Katie had unintentionally killed the man, as she has been plagued by hallucinations from the very beginning. She believes that she is a special child chosen by God for a special mission. Katie, now fully immersed in her belief, walks outside and heads towards a grand structure visible in the sky, which seems to represent her divine destiny. There was truly a circular glow emerging, and now this light was shining directly on Katie. She brought a flammable liquid with her and began pouring it on her body. In the next moment, she set her body on fire. Katie started burning completely, and her screams could be heard by the people. Now, wings appeared on Katie's back, which were a sign of an angel. All the people present there, seeing everything, knelt down to show their respect. Katie was only screaming, as if her body was being taken not to heaven but to hell because, knowingly or unknowingly, she had committed many murders. These thoughts ran through Katie's mind, and her negative feelings had led her to do this, even though the story ended here. In this scene, the directors and creators wanted to portray that if someone blindly follows their religion, this is what could happen. These thoughts started coming to Katie's mind when, in the hospital, she committed a murder. While giving CPR to a patient, she pressed too hard on his ribs, causing them to break, and the patient died right there. Katie considered herself entirely responsible for the incident, so to atone for everything, she went to offer herself to God. Katie began to believe that if she spoke in God's name and devoted her entire life to Him, perhaps God would forgive her. However, in this story, it is never shown that Katie went to a church or any sacred place. Instead, she began creating an image of God in her mind, hearing His voice and assigning tasks to herself. Katie's mind was consumed by these thoughts, and she developed a disorder that made her bring imaginary things into reality. The way Katie's character was depicted shows that she blindly followed her faith. In front of her God, she did not see anyone as superior, and those who stood against God were seen as her enemies. Amanda was an atheist, and she didn't believe in God. When Katie revealed the truth in front of her that she was pretending to have faith in God, Katie saw her as an enemy and began to perceive her as a demon. In fact, in her mind, Katie believed that Amanda deserved punishment and therefore decided to kill her, which was solely because of her loss. Regarding the entire plot of this story, it's truly amazing. The core message of the story is that no religion should be blindly followed. Decisions should be made with full awareness and consideration, ensuring they are safe for both oneself and others. The way Katie burned herself on the beach, she believed she had finished God's task and was going to heaven. However, the people present could only witness a woman setting herself on fire and screaming loudly. The people kneeling down to welcome her were just a figment of Katie's imagination. Everyone present on the beach was yelling to save her, and it seemed she was heading directly into hell. Our story ended here for the viewers.